Hey guys, thanks for stopping. I figure I might as well do a video since I'm sort of done up, and yes, this is done up for Tony. I figured I'd make a video on why I don't believe in a God. Or any gods or supernatural things. I guess I didn't grow up in a very religious family. My parents actually, I was baptized Lutheran, but my parents decided to become Lutheran. They tried to get married in a Catholic church, and because my parents were going to use contraceptives, they wouldn't marry them any which way. So my parents ended up Lutheran, and my mom was Lutheran, my dad was Catholic, and so they went to the Lutheran church, and I'm baptized Lutheran or some or another. I never did any. My parents never took me to church. Pretty much, church was a non-factor when it came down to it. The only real contact with church I had was when I was younger, if I were to stay over at like my cousin's house, and Sunday morning they went to church, so I had to go to church, and it was just sort of this annoying thing that got me up early on a Sunday. And as a little kid, I didn't understand anything. Never really gave it much thought until I was in high school, but I know that I was at least what you'd consider a deist, where I figured there was some kind of I guess I thought that there was some kind of a God, but never really gave it much thought. I remember praying here and there if there was something going on, but no real contact, no real indoctrination process. Didn't know much about the Bible or Jesus or anything of that nature. Only the things you learn through just Christmas and some of the holiday things. And going through high school, I have to say it was, I think either my sophomore. I think it was my sophomore year in high school when I was in a history class. And this is, I would have to say, the deciding factor where I decided that there is no God. Where it just makes no sense. And in the very least, this was the point where I decided that religion was a bunch of made-up stories to get money from people. They were talking about, first of all, the Crusades and the horrific things that were done in the name of Christianity. Just mass killings, just genocide killings of people, mass, like they'd come into an area and try to convert everybody, and anybody who wouldn't convert, dead, and at least that was the gist of what I got in that class. And another thing that I had learned is they used to sell the ability to get somebody out of purgatory. Now, as some or most of you may know, just recently the Vatican had decided, or the Pope decided, that there is no purgatory or something like that. They just make up stuff as they want to, I guess. But they used to sell the ability to get a loved one out of purgatory. Now, when you hear something like that, they're just trying to make money. And so from that point forward, I became what I would call, not necessarily a militant, but I was in the debate. The debate was on, I used to debate with my high school sweetheart. She was a fairly devout religious person, went to church every Sunday and all those types of things. And I used to debate with her about things. I actually drove her to a point, not drove her, but I managed to make enough points that one time she actually started crying and saying, "I need to go talk to my pastor." And so at that point in time, I decided, well, I don't really want to make my girlfriend or anybody go running crying. You know, the indoctrination process really gets into people. I mean, like, just think about when you found out that there wasn't a Santa Claus. You know, from then on, I would have the debate here and there. You know, when it came up, really up until, I don't know, college or so. I really, like, middle of college maybe. Like, when I went to college, I didn't care about almost anything except for girls and drinking and partying, and yeah, it was a great time. But towards the middle end of college, I started actually thinking, you know, and finding out that I'm actually supposed to be learning something while I'm here. That's why I ended up doing, like, I think six and a half years, something like that, in college in order to get my degree. I had a good time though. A lot of pottery. Oh yeah. This is some of the stuff. This isn't my nicest stuff, but it's the stuff that I still have. I figured I might as well display it. So then once I moved out on my own, well after college, actually just recently, within the last couple of years, I started playing around online and you know, checking out YouTube and Google Video, Break.com, and you know, just checking out videos, just fun stuff. And then I found a couple of videos on atheism. You know, I ended up finding The Atheist Experience. Now, this is a TV show that's out of Austin City. It's public access. It's a live call-in show. It's a great show. And saw that and found out that they've got all the archive. I pretty much watched their whole archive and absolutely love that show. And I'll throw some links. And then they also have a bi-weekly podcast called The Nonprofits, and I'll also throw up a link to that because that's just absolutely fun. And then I started finding out that there is somewhat like a group, not necessarily a group, but there's a lot of atheists that are debating religious issues, or debating issues that come up with religion. And there's a lot of them. I don't really consider ourselves a group, but there's, you know, there tends to be there is a lot of people posting videos, really intelligent videos, you know, so I started doing this and texting and stuff like that. So that's pretty much Tony's atheism. Any which way, guys, I think you should, you know, keep it real. Have a good one.